Let's take a look at our top selections for Dan Illman, Mike Beer, 2 stakes races on tap at Aqueduct on Sunday. Let's take a look at the field for race number 7. It's the New York Stallion Series for 3-year-old fillies. These are New York breds, and we have a deserving odds-on favorite on David Aragona's morning line, Mike. That's the one. Lauban on a prayer, who's getting significant class relief.
Yeah, it's a big class drop for her. She's already a 2-time stakes winner against New York breds, Dan. She's got the two fastest figures in the race as well. She just looks like a very logical horse at a short price.
As we take a look at the Timeform U.S. pace projector, Lauban in a prayer is cutting back in distance. She might have to come from last. And in her most recent start, the Busher, where she took on 2 next out winners, the winner search results heading to the Kentucky Oaks after returning from that race to win the Grade 3 Gazelle with a 92 buyer. That was a race that was run at a crawling pace. Lauban in a prayer just couldn't sprint home with those open foes. Do you think she's going to be last early here?
She could be. I mean, there are plenty of other horses in here who do have speed, Dan. So even if she is last, I don't think it's some kind of huge disadvantage for her. She won on the cutback in that Fifth Avenue division of the Stallion Series back in December, Dan. So I don't really feel like cutting back from the 1-turn mile is a big problem for her. Last time, listen, the pace was slow. It's not like you can say she had some kind of an excuse in there. She kept right up close and just was no match for those horses, but she's not facing anybody like that in here.
You're absolutely right. Significant class relief. The distance relief should help as well. She's way the horse to beat. Jill's a Hot Mess is stakes placed, but in that race in December, she was beaten 6 lengths by Lauban and a prayer, and she needed to drop to the $40,000 maiden claiming ranks to notch her maiden victory. Let's watch that win on March the 12th, and Jill's a Hot Mess takes over, turning into the lane. She is on her way as the 8-5 favorite, and after disappointing as the favorite in many races, she finally broke through.
Yeah, she had lost 3 in a row as the favorite and maiden special weight races before this. This is just simply the right field for her, Dan. She dropped. She had plenty of speed to keep up with the pace early. She was a very easy winner. The race did not come back fast.
She graduated for the $40,000 tag. Our next entrant, the 3 Buston Bay, well, she needed $25,000 New York bred maiden claimers in order to graduate. Let's watch that race. And she won in the manner of an 11-10 favorite. She simply dominated this group. There was a pretty quick pace up in this short field of 4. She takes over. She's on her way. 72 buyer speed figure is rock solid. She was claimed out of the race.
Yeah, listen, she runs fine in here. There's only, as you mentioned, 3 other horses in the race. You can see the horse that she's leaving behind in second there basically stopped running at about the 3/16 pole. But listen, she ran well in here. I also felt like she ran well 2 starts back then. That was also for maiden 25. But she ran pretty well in that race. That was a pretty good pace. She chased it all the way. She stayed on gamely through the stretch. Her new trainer, he's a very low-profile guy, but he's very underrated too, and he's great off the claim.
I'm expecting market improvement from the number 4, Laura's Bellamy, who was a debut winner against state-bred maiden special foes back on February the 27th. Let's watch that race. It was contested over sloppy going. Laura's Bellamy broke from the rail, got caught up in a quick pace with these other 2 horses on the outside, and just keeps on going very gamely. And a couple of horses came out of this race to win, most notably the 6th-place finisher, who returned to score by 8 with a 71 buyer.
Yeah, listen, she only got a 61 buyer for this. I felt like she actually ran pretty well within the context of the race. Though you can see everybody starting to close now. That's because, as you mentioned, the pace was pretty quick, and this filly was just under pressure on the lead the entire way, but she would not relent. She ran very well first time out.
Blinkers on for the 5, Shaker Shack, who will be making her stakes debut following this effort. A runner-up performance against open starter optionals. I thought she was placed to a very hard chase from the start behind She's a Dirty Dancer, who's also in this race. She's ultimately going to get past She's a Dirty Dancer, but the closers are coming. I thought overall she ran an underrated race.
Yeah, she ran well in here, and it was a nice bounce back for her too, Dan, because I didn't like her race 2 back much at all, but she ran way better in here. She's going to get closed down late by a horse who got a perfect ride and just tags her on the wire. Betsy Blue did come back on Thursday at Aqueduct, Dan. She did win again, but it wasn't nearly as impressive against just 2 other horses as a main track only. Still, this horse did a lot of work last time, and I thought ran very well.
Shaker Shack has blinkers on. She's a Dirty Dancer, who we just saw finish a tired third, gets blinkers off for Rudy Rodriguez. This is a horse that's caught muddy going in her last two races, and quite simply, she might be better on fast ground. I would expect this filly, even with the blinkers off, to be very forwardly placed, if not outright on the lead.
I think so too. I think they're going to use her speed again. We'll see how fast this pace gets, because it feels like all three of the outside horses have pretty good speed in this race. This horse looks a lot like Shaker Shack to me, Dan. I didn't like her race two back at all. They ran in the same race that day. They came back last time in the same race, and I thought they both ran well. This horse fired up the rail to the lead. I thought she made a solid pace in there, and she only got tired in the last furlong, so I thought she ran fine.
Top pick time for the New York Stallion Series at Aqueduct on Sunday. Mike, you're going with Lauban and a prayer. Way the horse to beat. I'm not really way against that horse, but if you want to take a shot against, I will perhaps with Shaker Shack, who I think can trip out sitting just off the pace and might improve with the addition of blinkers.
Yeah, certainly possible. I thought about maybe giving the 4 Laura's Bellamy a chance on top here, just because I think her debut might be better than it looks on paper, but I'm not trying to beat this favorite.
1453 for Mike, 5136 for me. It's the New York Stallion Series at Aqueduct on closing day Sunday. Good luck.